address, help you to address. Yeah. Wrong date. Thanks for the information. Yeah, solution architect. Good. I think we are good to start. Okay, so let me just have a quick introduction about myself first. So my name is John. I'm currently based in Singapore, and I'm the pre-sales engineer for UiPath. Okay, we are supporting the Southeast Asia or APJ customer. Okay, so yeah, so for today's session is the quick introduction about the RPA and of course the UiPath Enterprise Platform. So again, if you have any question, feel free to put your question to the chat and I will try to address it for you. Okay. Yeah, when we talk about RPA, the very first thing, what is RPA? RPA stands for Robotic Process Automation. When we talk about robotic, this is the software robot. So basically what we will do in your using your computer, using your keyboard, type into your mouse click, we can easily ask the robot to uh, execute for you, to automate the process for you. Okay. And when we talk about the RPA deliverable, so this is the business value that we can look for. The first thing is improve operation efficiency, accelerate the benefit from the digital transformation, improve customer experience, improve compliance, and last but not least is to improve the employee experience as well. And these are the 5 pillars that is really important, and this is what we can achieve by implementing the RPA. Okay. Okay. So when we talk about RPA, what is the use case that normally we can start with? So when we look about this RPA, the very first thing is we will talk about the high volume kind of the use cases that we will do a repetitive rule based. So this is a very typical kind of the use cases that we can start with using our robotic RPA. Yeah. So next I will show you the simple automation using a robot in action. So this is the typical use case where you will get the robot to process the expenses report. So in this use case actually involve multiple and different type of application. So based on this application, I'm sure that in your organization there is some similar kind of application you'll be using it. So throughout this explanation or the demo, you can also try to link it to your daily task, saying that how this robot can help you into your own process. Okay. Yeah. The first one will be the Microsoft Offices. I believe everyone here or most of the company out there, they are dealing quite a lot with the Excel. And one thing good is your robot is can work with the offices, especially Microsoft Excel very well. And the next one will be based on the legacy or mainstream application, being it a Java or Windows from not a Israel or. Next will be the SaaS application. For this example, it could be a Salesforce, it can be a Jira, it can be a DocuSign. It doesn't matter. So robot able to integrate with them well. Okay, and then we can easily ask the robot or configure the robot to repetitive, do a cut and paste to read the column and populate into your ERP system. In this case will be the SAP. But we are not just limited to the SAP. We can go with other like JT Edwards and Dynamics as well. And last but not least, we will get the robot to transfer to actually create a report by using the template in Microsoft Word, and then to convert into PDF and send it up to the users. Okay. Okay, so later on I will talk about this one where I will talk about the action center where we have a human in the loop. So we will skip this slide for a while. Okay. Okay, so right now I will show you the quick video here on the example that I just explained. In this video, actually, it will show you how the robot works. Okay, as you can see here, this is the flow chart of the use case. Initially, there are multiple column here, which is left empty. Robot will read that, and then to open up different type of application here, we got a green screen, we got a Salesforce here, and we got the SAP, and start to do the processing. Okay, so we'll go to the green screen and get the data, open up into this Salesforce, and create the expenses report here, and to transfer to create the template into the so-called PDF and process it into the SAP, as you can see here. So for this Joanne, as you can see, so we can easily set the rules here. In this case, Joanne's information is not exist in this Salesforce. So we can easily set a condition, ask the robot. If the record is not there, we can ask the robot to create the contact before it start to process. So we can easily ask the robot to do that. Okay, and then it continue by processing the expenses report here, as you can see. Populate the data in the template, process in SAP, and then to email it out. Yeah, so once it's done, we can ask the robot actually to update back the source file, the input file, based on the different status. Yep, and we can also email out this Excel easily. And this is where we can see how the robot work into this one by using a simple automation use cases. Do you have any question, or by seeing this quick example, are you able to link to your own use cases in your mind, see how we can use it? Maybe after this session, you can try to download the UiPath Studio and to start to do it. Yeah. Any question before I move on to the next slide? Okay, good. Let me move to the next slide. Okay. The next will be I want to introduce to you the UiPath Enterprise Platform. So as you can see in this view, we call it, they have multiple pillar. As you can see, there is a section called Discover, there is a Build section, there is a Manage section, there is an Engage section, and the Run section. So this actually means that currently UiPath not only just provide the RPA or just to sell RPA, but then we do provide the entire so-called enterprise platform, which can actually help you to achieve your objective in your digitalized journey. So by using this various type of module, but today, due to the times, we will not cover all, but we will just focus on which is the most important for you to start with. And if let's say you have interest to know more in details about other products, feel free to contact your account executive, and we can set a time to help you to go through in more details. Okay. So for today, I will just basically touch a few, like what I say, which is needed for the initial start for RPA implementation. So when we talk about RPA implementation, there are three main modules, minimum three modules that we need from this view. There is the first one is Studio Family, where we will use the Studio is a designer tool for us to design or automate our workflow. Okay. The next one will be later on. I will just show you a quick example, the live demo, how we can easily use that to do one of the use case. Yeah. The second one will be the orchestrator. Is kind of a command center for us to control all our robot, all our processes, and the license. Okay. And last but not least is the robot here. So robot actually will help us to execute all the task. So they will act as a human to help us to execute the process as and when is needed. Okay. So when we talk about, let me go back to studio, is where we will develop the process. Okay. So when we talk about studio, we have two types of studio. We have Studio X and the Studio. Studio X is actually meant for more, uh, I mean, business user, which have less technical skill compared to the developer. Okay. So then, of course, the studio will be meant for more advanced user. When you are comfortable with the tools, you can use the more advanced version here. So right now, I want to show you a quick example of what is the studio is. Okay, so this you can see here. This is so-called a studio. Okay, okay. We do have, there are a few panel here is very important. The first thing is the um, activity panel, where we have a lot of predefined activity we can drag and drop to use. Okay, and at the center actually we have a design flow, where it will show you how the flow your process look like. And last but not least is the property field here. Later I will show you in more details. Okay, where you can configure. Okay, so the concept of UiPath Studio is we are using low code, no code kind of concept. How we will do is we will just use the drag and drop method to configure our workflow. So I just do a quick flow to you. I have maybe demo 100. Okay. Okay. So this is the design flow. So right now, if let's say we want to show a message, just a quick example, message here, message drop here. Okay, for example, we can easily find the right activity, go to drag and drop. Okay, so as you can see here, it's actually give you a error because this is the information that we need to provide to them and it's not there. And this is where we do the property panel of this activity. We call it. We can easily give them a text, then it's okay. Okay, so now it's okay. Sorry, not. Okay. That's how I put it. So now, if I provide the text here, then the error is gone. Then we are good to execute it. Okay, how we can run it? We can debug the files. We can run the file. So this just to show you how easy we can run the process. Okay. Wait, okay. So the message actually come out in the separate screen of myself. Okay, just to give you a quick example. Right now we go back to this one. So if we have just now the example, we have a condition whereby if the contact is not there, how easy we can do that. So we can easily give a if condition here, for example. Okay, and here we do have a two condition. We can have a if uh, some we can give for example if the argument here if it's not approved or something like that, we can ask the robot to go to this thread. And if we have another false condition, we can easily ask the robot to do it in this way. Okay, so this is something that we will set and we can easily do it. Okay, so right now what I'm going to show you is another features in this activity, in this use case is whereby I have this application, okay, and maybe I just share this one first. Okay, so I have this application here. So I want the robot to type in the value and click on the accept. Okay, this is how you will do. So the one thing we will do it here, we can use the recorder. Okay, so I will show you how it will work and it will help you to generate out the workflow. So right now we go to the app recorder, and when you have a recorder here, this is something that it will show up, and we can easily ask the robot to go to the cache in. Okay, so this is something that we want the robot to do. Okay, we recognize as cache in, and this is the value I want the robot to do. Okay, click on confirm. Okay, as you can see, once we click on confirm, actually this step has been recorded. Okay, and now I want the robot to go to this step, and again I want him to put 300, and I click on confirm. And the last one is to click on this button, accept. Okay, okay. So you see the difference when the robot actually identify is a text box, then it will prompt you the value to be key in. Okay, so right now I'm good to go. So what I will do is I click on the save. Okay, I click on save. Then you see this sequence is actually created by using the screen recording. And these are the steps. Okay, the first thing, open up the application, type into this one, and click on accept. So what I'm going to do is I try to close this one and run this workflow that I just created without modify it, and we see the outcome. Okay, first thing I close, I save first. Now I do a run file. Okay, this actually open up in, sorry, sorry, maybe I just disconnect to the screen first, to the second screen, and to show you. Okay, okay, so let me try to run it one more time here. Yeah, so now the robot actually filling out the information and close the application. Yeah, it's very fast. So if let's say I don't want the robot to close, I can easily ask the robot never close it. See, let me run it one more time so that you will see the outcome. Okay. Yeah. So right now the robot actually filling in, but then it never closed. You realize that it's not, this field is not enter, it's not key in. So how we wanted to do? So right now it's very simple. We have been doing the recording, but we miss out this step. So what we need to do is, what we want robot to do is to type some value into this one. So how we wanted to do, we will use the activity, we call it type into. We can always make changes to what the robot has been doing. So easily I drag and drop here. Okay. And of course, when we drop here, we need to tell the robot where to type. Okay. So what we'll do, ask the robot, this is the column, and I just need to look at this. And right now, I want the robot to provide type in 200 in this case. Okay. Okay. So right now, if I close it, I run it again. So right now, robot, yeah, you can see it can be easily click it. Okay. So this is how simple we call it a no code, low code kind of uh, the development. So you can be doing more than what we just say by just doing a simple recording. Yeah. Any questions so far before I move on to the next one? Yep. No, oh, good. Thanks. Yeah, I think my screen is not. So let me, yeah, okay. So we talk about studio and yeah. Next, I want to introduce another cool features here or module. We call it document understanding. So this is for your information at this point, maybe, yeah. So when we talk about document understanding here, it's actually use the robot to have a very to use the machine learning or AI method to extract information from various type of document. Earlier, when we talk about RPA, if we wanted them to extract information from semi-structured data, what we can use is just a OCR technology. But in this case, the OCR technology only applicable to those like a fixed form of fixed or standard kind of form where we have a field in the fixed location. So, but what is the difference here? The document understanding, it use the intelligent way to extract this information. It can use, it can extract data from structured document, of course, semi-structured, handwritten, and even unstructured. Okay. The good thing about the UiPath document understanding is we do have our out of the box model, pre-trained model where you can directly plug and play or use it immediately. We have some out of the box model like invoices, which can easily recognize your invoice, purchase order, receipt, and some passport. So meaning say that you can directly use it, and if the sample that you try to extract, there is additional fields you want to retrieve from the model, you can again train it further to make your model even smarter and can cater for more use cases. Okay. So back to document understanding, there are two main things that this document understanding will do. The very first thing is the very first thing is the classified. So when we feed the document to the robot, the very first thing the robot need to know is what document it is. Being it is an invoice, being it is a complaint, or being it is a purchase order. Then the second thing is to extract the information based on the different type of document. So each is an invoice. We do have a different set of fields we need to extract for invoice. If it's a purchase order, yes, we have another set. Okay, so they have to work in together. Okay, so yeah. So next, I will show you a quick example of this how the robot will work with the document understanding to extract the fields from the invoice and then to process in the SAP. Yeah. Okay. So the very first one is actually nothing but just get the robot to monitor your email and download the attachment into the folder. So what you can see here is the studio, like what I just showed you earlier. So in the actual case in production, when the robot is running, you will not see this one. You can see what in the background. So right now the robot able to download this attachment and pass it to another process to extract the information in this document. Okay. So now once we start, again, this is what for demo purpose. That's why you will see the step by step how it execute. Okay, now let's try to do a classification by using the keyword. Okay, so here you can see the based on this document that we feed to the robot able to know that, oh, this is the invoice document type. Okay, later on, by using this input, it will further process by calling the right ML model. Later on, I will show you. Okay, so right here we'll say, so in this case, this workflow actually we can cater for different type of document type. We can have receipt, we can have form as well. But in this case, because the input file is invoice, so that's why the robot is smart enough to calling the invoice ML model to apply to it and extract the fields that they need. Uh, okay, yeah. So this is kind of the output that the robot after it extract. You can see these are all the fields that the user configure when it's a invoice document type. I want to extract like date, names, invoice number. And based on this sample, this is the value the robot actually extracted from this sample. Okay. And if you can see here, the red color here is actually the confidence level. It means that how confident the robot extracted the correct value based on the model that given to them. Okay. So this is 90 plus percent. Yeah. Let me just move on. Okay. So not only the fields value, but the line item here also we can easily to extract it out. So once everything is okay, we can easily ask the robot to continue to process to your ERP system. In this case will be the SAP. Yeah. So we can make use of the extracted value and start to process it. Okay. Yeah. So this is how the document understanding will work. So any question, if you have any question, feel free to put into the chat. Yeah. Go back to this one. Okay. Any question? Not, then later I will try to cover two more, the apps and action center, give you an overview of what the app can do and the action center can do. Okay, I think it's good. So yeah, the app is nothing but a web-based application that we can use this UiPath to create it by integrate with our robot. Okay, we can easily integrate with the robot. What I will show you is I will show you a quick video. Let me unshare it. I will reshare it again. Yeah. So when we talk about the app, so basically it's a uh, web-enabled form for you to develop and to use it for your use cases. So I will show you a quick example on this how it will look. No, sorry, I never show it. Sorry, yeah. Yeah. So let me, yep. So yeah. So for app, what we can do is we again use a low code, no code kind of design for us to develop a web form that we can easily ask a robot to, I mean, integrate with the robot. And not only one single robot, we can trigger multiple robot based on different type of input. So yeah, so what I will show you is okay, a quick example here in the app. Let me play a video. So imagine this is the your call center that we can use. This is actually created by using our UiPath app. So we can integrate, we can craft it into different sections based on different information that we need when we try to contact the customer. Okay, so we can also apply some AI capability here to let the agent know that which customer we can call. So right now, if they click on the calling, so once it pick up, then while we call, we can provide all the information, the customer information by calling the. Imagine you have here maybe customer details, the billing history, the activity at the back end. Actually, we do have various different type of so-called system that will provide this information. But by using this app, we can easily ask a robot to open up different applications and consolidate them into a single screen to simplify the agent's work. Instead of them to toggle between different applications, now they can get the information in one single screen and by a single click. Okay, let me continue. So once you click, actually the back end now the robot actually calling different process to work and provided the information here. Okay, so they can use the AI capability to try to analyze and check whether how it will be, how likely the robot the customer will change, and also to provide them a better action, the best action, what the robot, what the agent can sell to them, and also based on different type of the history. So easier for the agent to work well with the so-called the customer. So does that make any sense for you? How this thing can be work together with the robot? And in this way, it's very simple. We can use the drag and drop no code method to help to develop a simple web form which can give your customer service or the agent a better experience when they are dealing with the customer. So any question before I move on to the action center here? Okay, so if it's not, then I will go to it. Okay, I think in the earlier, the very first use cases, the expenses report, at the last, actually, there is a one slide that I skipped because I want to go into more detail on this product. We call it Action Center. So imagine when we talk about the automation, the use case end-to-end automation, sometimes, I mean, at very first time, initially, what we will say if we say no human intervention, we talk about the high volume use cases, we have a repetitive. But to certain level, we found out that sometimes human interventions is required at certain processes. For example, approval. So for example, like the expenses report, if you have something more than $1,000, we need to have a reporting officer to approve. Okay, so in this case, when the robot process halfway, they need to wait for the RO to provide the approval. How we can do that? by using the action center, we can actually create a task to the reporting officer for them to provide their approval before the robot can continue. So imagine here, the robot was processing halfway and they need a exception from the employee, in this case, reporting officer. Once they provide their approval, the robot will continue to work. So this is the typical use case that we can use the access center. Yeah. Yeah. So next, I will show you a quick video of this action center where to show the use case on the human plus the robot collaboration. Yeah. So as you can see here, this is again the workflow that we wanted to show. And this is with our orchestrator. Here we do have a action center here. And there are three tab here. We have different status of the task that given to you. So once we, in this case, we run this process, then the robot will create a task and assign to this user, Tony here, for him to provide a input to the customer. So at this point right now, robot need the human for assistance. And now the task has been created to Tony. Yeah. So in this case, of course, it can be anything that we want the human to do or to provide. So in this case, basically just want some value from the uh, human. So now the Tony actually provided his value here, 105. Okay. So once it's click on submit, the task will be moved to the completed status here. And you have a log here also. What is the value that is provided by Tony? And once the robot is resumed, he able to easily get the value that is provided by human. So this actually showcase to you that there is many other ways that we can think of to get the humans or to work with the robot, or in the other way around, the robot to work with the human. Yeah. Hope you got the idea that I tried to bring up today. And if you got any further um, requirement or request, you need to understand in more details about how this thing work and how this thing can help into your organization. Feel free to contact your account executive to arrange a time with us so that we can spend more time to understand your pain point and also to suggest to you what is the best product that you can use it to address your pain point here. Um, yeah, again, any question here? Yeah, any question? If you got any question, feel free to post into the chat so that I can try to address. And one thing I want to highlight to you that um, there is a $50 USD gift card giveaway for those participants. I mean, you will have a chance to win the $50 for those participants in the session in September, October, and November. Just a reminder to yourself. So how you can submit your entry? You just follow the step here, which is in the event page and also in the meeting invite that's sent to you. So what you need to do is to send to Tony. Okay, I think yeah, email your entry to Tony Nut on the following: which date you attend, and what session you attend, and also how this thing will be help you will solve your problem. Right. Yep. So yeah. Any other question? We got 2 more minutes before we can close this one. let me wait for another 1 minute. If no, then we can end the session. Yeah, UiPath employee is not eligible. Any other question? Yeah. If no question, then we can end for this session. So yeah, thanks for attending this session. And yeah, we will organize this kind of session on a monthly basis. Yeah. So thanks once again.